It's Thursday. What's up? What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about a couple of signs that you'll find out that you have, within yourself, your own habits, your own patterns that will tell you that you're not ready to transform, that you're not ready to commit to, changing your body, burning fat, building muscle, transforming your body in any way, shape, or form, whatever that means for you. Okay, so um, we're gonna break it down. This is kind of gonna get uncomfortable. Most people don't want to talk about this shit because it's just an uncomfortable conversation to have. So I'm gonna be the person to dive into that. I'm gonna have this conversation for you, or with you, and we're just gonna break this down, all right? Because this is kind of a tough topic to bring up, because it really does require you to be honest with yourself. It requires you to understand your weaknesses, and really, like, of course, in that sense, also take advantage of your strong points, but also to not prematurely make you jump the gun and then, continue to fail, quit, or just not stick it out when it comes to your transformation journey, whether it's to build muscle or burn fat. All right. So, hope you guys and girls are having an amazing Thursday. We're going to be diving into the podcast real soon. You know the rules, you know the deal. As the podcast is recording, I won't be responding to anybody until the podcast is recorded, and then I'll be answering questions or comments that you guys and girls may have. All right. So you can drop them down at any point in time throughout the live stream slash podcast recording. And at the end, I will be tuning in to read what y'all have to say. Lizzie, what's good? Thank you so much for joining. MJ, what's up? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. You know what's happening. You know what's happening. All right, people. And fuck, we got amazing weather today here in Toronto right now. It's like 14 with clear sun, and the day before it was just like snowing and shit. So yeah, global warming is real, bro. Yo, what's up, Holmes? What's up, Ty? See you, Holmes. Zach, thanks for joining. What's happening, people? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. So without wasting any time, I'm going to be diving into the podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your host, IFBB Pro Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic. And today we will be unpacking the signs that you're not ready to make a full body transformation. Okay, but before we dive in, I want to let you know that you are welcome to join the Meathead Monsters Club. It's a free Facebook community where you guys and girls get the opportunity to meet other meatheads like yourself online. Also, don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast to your IG story to show support. It would go a really long way, and I'd really appreciate that. All right. Also, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, or if you'd like to tune into the live recording to see exclusive behind the scenes footage, you can search for Matt Butale on Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. All right. So, also, shameless plug to my YouTube channel, Matt Butale. If you want to see some extra meathead content, actually just dropped a video today called Black Air Force Energy, featuring the one and only Devin Bernardo. It's actually quite funny if you're into meathead type of fucking videos and shit like that. So, but it's just us being authentic. That's like really me in the gym, like how I actually act outside of social media. So if you want to check that out, just dive in. There's a little extra meathead content. You know what the fuck's happening. All right. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the meat and potatoes for today. All right. So we're going to be talking about it. This is an uncomfortable conversation to have, right? But we're going to be unpacking it. This is something that I wanted to bring up several times, and that I'm probably going to continue to bring up several times for those of you that may not get the opportunity to listen to this podcast or watch this live stream. And it's because it's so important, because I've noticed so many people prematurely jumping the gun and quitting before they see any real results, or doing things that are, that end up jeopardizing their success with their transformation, whether it's to build muscle, whether it's to burn fat. And I just got to break the ice today. I got to dive in and have this conversation, this uncomfortable conversation with you, so that you can identify these things within your life and fix these things, so you can lean more towards your strong points and eradicate your weak points when it comes to your perspective of changing your body, transforming your mind, so that you can keep the body that you transform into, which is a big thing, and so that you can actually ultimately win in this journey. Okay, because a win is transforming yourself and keeping your transformation and being happy about it. Okay. And what I've noticed is a lot of people either they don't even get to the point of satisfaction because they don't complete the journey. or B, they complete the journey and then they undo it because they just weren't ready to actually make that transformation in the first place. And what makes you, I would say, not qualified or not ready for a transformation, those things, that's essentially what we're going to be diving into in today's podcast. All right. So, the first thing I want to bring up is the lack of commitment, hesitating to make that big decision. Okay. So, this one is a no-brainer because if this is something you're struggling with, then you know you're struggling with it because you haven't even made the commitment to do the small things in order to, that are required for you to actually begin your transformation. So to start your transformation, you'd have to do. We'll say starting off with small things would be the best thing to do. Okay, small things just being slight changes in your daily routine. Okay, if you're not active at all, becoming active. And I'm not telling you to just start going to the gym. I'm saying literally small steps, like you know, doing laps outside of your park, like just walking, right, or walking your dog for an extra 5 minutes, or playing with your kids outside. If the weather permits it and stuff like that. Just allowing yourself to be a little bit more active outside of work, things like that, or the small commitment to eat a little bit healthier, right? Instead of, say you're eating, and I don't know if you're doing this, God help you, but if you're eating like take out 3 to 4 times a day, you only limit yourself to 2 times a day, and you try to cook one meal, right? Maybe if it's a breakfast, you don't skip breakfast. Maybe that's the one small commitment, right? But you can't get yourself to make a small commitment, and the lack of your ability to make that small commitment is one of the major things that is holding you back from actually making a transformation. And this one I had to bring up first because it's just right in your face. If you struggle with this one, you likely haven't started your journey. Okay. Another lack of commitment could be, well, hey, maybe you want to take small steps, but you just don't fucking know what to do. Right. And what do we do when we don't know what to do? We either research on our own or we look for other people that can offer us the help that, we can take advantage of so that we can make those small steps and begin our transformation. So another form of lack of commitment is, lack of commitment to learning, lack of commitment to expanding your knowledge, or lack of commitment to, reaching out for help, which is the real thing. Like you are unable to trust somebody else with your health in terms of, finding a nutritionist, finding a coach, or even going to a doctor and getting the information that you would need, the knowledge that you need to help you move in the right direction and, begin a transformation, right? So lack of commitment is many things. And if you struggle with lack of commitment, you are likely not ready to begin your transformation. Okay. Also, this sort of ties into it too. Another reason why you may not be ready to actually continue to even embark on a transformation, this sort of ties into your lack of commitment, but this is more along the lines of those people that are a little bit more passionate, but still hesitate. And it's this: if you notice that you are doing more research than actually applying that research, you're likely not ready to actually start your transformation. What does this mean? This means if you're that type of person that goes on Google or YouTube and looks at the coolest diet fad, or the whatever, we'll say the most quote unquote successful nutrition program that you should be following, and the best workout that you should be following to build this thing or do that thing, build your glutes, build your arms, and you're always looking for like the next quick fix, and you're doing a lot of research, but you're not applying anything, that's a huge sign that you're not ready to actually make the transformation. Why? Because you're more interested in looking at the next most, we'll say, trendy method of eating, or the trendiest method of training, and you don't even try it out yourself to see if it works, and most likely it doesn't. That's why it's trending. And you just continuously spin the wheel, look for this cool thing, look for that cool thing, look for all this information, and never actually really fucking apply it. And if you really open your ears when you listen to the podcast in the intro, I always say information without implementation is just fucking noise. And all you're doing is filling your head up with noise, and you're not actually doing anything about it. You just get the information, you let it sit in your head, and then you get more information to just stack it in your head as well, which is counterproductive. I mean, yes, you want to learn, you want to, get your knowledge up, but what's the point of studying for a test and never taking the test? Does that make sense? So that's another sign that you might not be ready to make your transformation. Okay. And this one that I'm actually going to talk about right now is kind of a huge pet peeve of mine, and something that I noticed is happening more than ever, and it always happens. Not only amongst bodybuilders or bodybuilding athletes. But now I'm seeing it, more and more, even with people that are just simply trying to burn some fat. And this is it's huge. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. And it's when people hop around from program to program, coach to coach, without sticking to a program long enough to see results. Okay. This one is like a dead ringer. You are not ready to continue your transformation if you're on this program, you're on that program, and you switch it up every single week for God knows whatever fucking reason. And it sort of ties into the person that is, you know, doing more research than application, except you are applying these things, but you aren't applying these, your knowledge for a long enough period of time for it to actually give you an ROI, like a return of investment. Like you've learned these things amazing, so you can apply them. So when you apply them, you got to apply them for a certain period of time. Whether it's this nutrition trick you learned, whether it's this training method you learned, you have to apply it for weeks, months, even for you to actually reap the benefits from those programs, or from those styles of eating and training. But you find yourself always switching programs, always switching coaches because you believe in this philosophy. Now you believe in that philosophy this week, and then it changes next week. And you just can't stick to a program long enough to actually see results. And that's a huge fucking dead ringing sign that you are not ready to transform your body. Okay. Because you can't even commit to one thing for a specific amount of time. And I'm not even saying like a long time, I'm saying for the required amount of time that you would need to commit to it in order for you to actually see the fucking results. So you're here thinking this program sucks because, well, I'm not getting results. And then you switch to the other program. Well, that program sucks because I'm not getting results. And then this program sucks because I'm not, and you just keep switching and switching and switching, bouncing around program to program. And well, no shit, they all quote unquote suck because you've only given them a week. They all probably work, but you haven't worked long enough and been consistent long enough with the program or the coach to actually get the results that you want, right? And that level of we'll say impatience. If you have that level of impatience and you've noticed that that's something that you catch yourself doing, that is a huge sign that you're not ready to transform your body, right? It sort of ties into the lack of commitment. You are unable to commit to a program or to a coach for a long period of time. And that's why you don't see results. Not because the program doesn't work, not because the coach doesn't know what they're talking about. It's because you can't commit to staying in one spot for longer than a week. When on average, I'll be honest with you, most programs are designed to give you some form of success, whether it's to burn fat or build muscle, within 3 months to 8 months. You'll find programs that range in between those durations, and it's for a good reason because it takes time for your body to adjust to it. And of course, it takes time for you to actually see results. Make sense? All right. So, and this is another thing here, another thing, which honestly, this one ties into the very first thing that I talked about, which is the lack of commitment. Um, and this was like the step before that almost. It's if you notice that you are always making excuses and you think that you can have excuses and results at the same time, not possible. 100% not possible. If you think that you can say, well, I've got kids, I've got whatever it is. I gotta take care of some person, a disabled person, whatever it is at home. Like you have these legitimate excuses that are actually real. Like you're not bullshitting yourself. Like you legitimately believe you cannot do these things for whatever reason, and you're using that as a crutch to not go to the gym or to not eat clean. Like you've got to understand, you're not ready to make a transformation because you have to understand that you can't have excuses and results at the same time. And I'll be honest with you, that's kind of fucking rough to admit, and it's kind of rough to say to yourself, but it's the truth. Like your progress in a way doesn't really give a fuck that you're really busy. Your progress doesn't care that you've got to do all these other things, that these excuses are legitimate. Your body, like your transformation doesn't give a fuck about that. You have to do what you have to do. All right. Results or excuses, you can't have both. And if you think you can't have both, it's the reason why you haven't got to where you wanted to get to with your fat loss transformation or your muscle building transformation. Okay, you can't have excuses and results at the same time, right? And if you think you do, that's a sign that you're not ready to transform your body. Period. Period. All right. And another thing is struggling with really, really bad mental health and not working with a therapist, because most of these things do come from other habits, other negative things in your life that stem from, a poor mental health. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that it is the cause, but it's likely. And if it is, and you're aware of it, and you haven't done anything about it when it comes to like reaching out for help for a therapist, you're digging your grave, because no matter how hard you try, no matter how much information you accumulate, no matter what you do, really, you're not going to be able to transform your body simply because your mind isn't in the right space. Mentally, you can't do it. And I'm not telling you like it's impossible. I'm not saying that you're incapable. I'm saying that it's going to be way more challenging for you to even think about, let alone do, if you aren't doing the things that you need to do to get your mental health in check. Because where the mind goes, the body will follow. And if your mind is lost, so will your body be. It's just facts. I don't make the rules. All right. When you live in that state, you can't control yourself to do the simplest of things, slightest form of self discipline, even like beating cravings and things of that sort. Like think of, the of if you've ever been depressed, when you just can't fucking do anything. Like you can't get out of bed, you can't do simple shit. Like you can't shower, like you can't fucking talk to people, like you can't like when you're mentally unhealthy, you are barred from doing anything that you even want to do, let alone even if it's not even related to fitness. Like, say you want to go outside and just hang out with your friends, mentally, because you're not okay, you're not going to get to that point of going out to hang out with your friends, even though you want to do it and you get joy from it, because mentally you're not okay. And I'm not ripping you for it. I'm just saying you need to get help first, okay? Because once you get that help, then you'll be able to, assuming that you've fixed some of the things, if not most of the things that are going on in your life or in your head. Once you get control of that, you will likely have better control over your body, which will, mean that you can control what you eat better, control how you spend your time, be a little bit more disciplined, go to the gym, things of that sort. But as I said, where the mind goes, the body will follow. So if your mind is off, if your mental health is poor, and you're not doing anything about it, you haven't reached out to a therapist or gotten any professional help, you're likely not ready to transform your body. Does that make sense? All right. So we spent all this time talking about, not being ready to transform your body, or like these are the signs that you should look out for. If you experience them, then you're not going to succeed with your transformation. But let me finish this off and wrap it up with one thing that if you do experience, you know that you're ready to actually begin your transformation and fully commit. You'll finally be ready to commit to a transformation, whether it's building muscle or burning fat, when nothing else can come between your will to change and your desire for results, your thirst for knowledge, and your hunger for success. Okay? I'm going to repeat that for you. You will finally be ready to transform your body when nothing else comes between your will to change, your desire for results, your thirst for knowledge, and your hunger for success. And that sounds pretty straightforward, and it is, because it's not that difficult. It's quite simple. But again, if your mental health isn't aligned, if you can't even discipline yourself to do the simplest of things, make the smallest of steps, make the slightest of commitments, you'll never find yourself close enough to creating a life for yourself where your willpower has the ability to single-handedly control you in a way where you actually get the outcome, the desired outcome of your life, because again, you're just not in control, right? You have to make sure that your mind is right, that you're able to commit, and then on top of that, be consistent, right? And again, if your mind isn't right, there's help for that. You're not doomed. There are people out there are professionals out there that can actually assist you to get yourself to a point where you can actually take yourself seriously enough to make a commitment and actually commit, actually be disciplined, and then generate willpower, which is, in turn going to help you generate consistency. And that consistency is going to deliver you results. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you. All right. For the final time, I'm going to repeat this just so it gets into your fucking head. Guys and girls, you will finally be ready to transform your body when nothing else can come in between your will to change, your desire for results, your thirst for knowledge, and your hunger for success. Okay, and consistency creates that. But you have to make sure all the other building blocks and bases are where they need to be in order for you to succeed. Okay, so now it's time for you to take action. If you like this episode, share it out with a friend. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today. Thank you so much for your time and attention. All right. Your time is precious to me, for real. Also, if you want to lose 25 pounds and become a part of the Natural Nomad Academy, feel free to give me a DM and I'll see if you'd be a good fit. P.S. I will not be monetizing this podcast with ads or anything like that because I respect your time and I simply just want to deliver the value to you. All right. Don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast to your IG story to show support. It will go a really, really, really long way. Let's embrace your inner meathead together. All right. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Matt Butale signing out. Boom. All right, folks. It's all recorded. Don't think we got many questions here. Hey there. See Nathan, what's up? What's happening? TikTok. Someone's burning something, so that's interesting. Thank God I literally stopped recording the podcast when that happened because that would have been fucking livid. Anyway, so I appreciate the compliments, Lizzie. She says, from my experience, as shallow as it might sound, if my trainer looks like you, it helps me stay committed to my fitness. Again, I appreciate that, but it's another thing too because to practice what you preach and to have the knowledge to help other people, that's quite a gift, right? And to see that someone's using their knowledge for themselves and it's benefiting them, it works for them, and giving you the knowledge and it works for you, and you're getting results, like that's just a win. All right, so but you'd be an awesome therapist. I don't know about that, but I appreciate that. Lucy says, I'd love for you to be my therapist. I appreciate you. Tyson, what is good? Everybody, yo, hey, bro, what's happening? Hope everyone has a sick ass Thursday. I'm gonna dip out now because I know this alarm is probably gonna piss you off. It's pissing me off already. I'm gonna go hit the gym. I've got legs today, so pray for your boy. You know what it is, people. I hope you guys and girls have the most amazing Thursday of your fucking life. I'm going to be signing out. We'll be back again tomorrow for the last live stream of the week. You know the deal, people. Hope you have a sick ass, kick ass day. We are out. Boom. Peace, y'all. Oh, good afternoon. Quick check in. I'm at work. Shout out to you, Brittany. You know what's happening. We out.